the lineups for these two teams. Excited to see where this one ends up playing out. South Georgia Tormenta have played 2 regular season matches in the USL League One so far. A third competitive match of 2025 so far. 1-1 fell in the other. All 3 have been at home, and they'll get things going, heading from left to right. Jack Edwards and Casey White here in the broadcast booth.
Ball centrally a lot. Now he's having to drift out because their defensive structure has improved.
Nianjo on the switch. Tunbridge trying to get there first. Onto it now is Collins. Mentioned his flexibility and importance early on in this match. He'll receive the return pass from Snell. Sees off one challenge. And trying to slide one forward. Under hit. Gets to Alves. Now Nair. Stretch. Gray. Space is out wide, that's where he goes. He rolls it back for Stretch. He's got Walker. Walker steps past one challenge. Clever bit of footwork. Nianjo now popping up in the 18-yard box. Alves fakes one shot with the right foot. It's blocked. Nianjo. Clipped in, it gets to Gray. Rolls it back. It's going to spin to the end line. Gray keeps it alive in play. Vivas. Nianjo brings it down. The low shot in the bottom corner. Keeping the play alive. And Jonathan Nianjo, a first goal for South Georgia Tormenta.
And lots of smiles on the faces of the Tormenta FC players, and as it should be, their work rate to keep the ball in that attacking third is relentless, just continuing to go, new opportunities. I love this little clipped ball in behind. It's not timed well on the jump. Gray keeps it alive, so does Doyle. And then this ball's played back post, just doing anything they can. And one thing that Harper City's done really well is when you give up a first goal, you want to settle in right away. The initial emotional reaction is to chase and to want to go forward, get that equalizer, but it's a long game, and what you don't want is it to turn into 2 because it can get out of hand at that point, especially early on in the game. And they've settled in quite well in these next 5 minutes after conceding.
Here's Nianjo. It's his goal that separates the sides. Vivas. Referee says, get back to your feet. Has been quite stingy with any fouls and keeps that going there. A good chase down tackle from Alves. Doyle. Gray. Gets the return ball. Again, playing a 1-2, this time with Vivas. Great footwork. Nianjo, point blank saved. Good footwork from Notar Donato to deny the forward a brace.
Good play in combination, really quick feet to be able to get through another 1-2 right there. Nifty cutback, just not able to get that one across.
Chance for the hosts to try and double their advantage. Curled in. There's a slip in the 6-yard box. It bounces up. It's going to be knotted back into the mix. Pushed up, not away. Prepelita down and into the box. And finally a clearance that will push it away from danger and back to Austin Peck. Notar Donato. Entering now to 4 minutes of stoppage time. Just a poke there by Nianjo as Nicor was dribbling upfield. Obviously that stoppage, injury enforced. Anatoly Prepelita dealing with an issue with his nose. The goal celebrations as well. Jonathan Nianjo, the lone goal of the match, assisted by Sebastian Vivas. Poked out, throw. Not too often you see it thrown off of your teammate's back, but it's done there. Top of the box, referee says no foul. Now a chance for Tormenta to capitalize. Rolled through the middle, a brilliant pass for Stretch. Lays it off again, the shot top of the box, parried over by Notar Donato. End-to-end action results in a corner.
Which was a great run through the middle, just through the heart of the defensive unit. And then look at the composure to be able to find his teammate right there, and a save by Notar Donato. I think they would have felt a little hard done by.
That was a brilliant run from Callum Stretch. You mentioned his movement and his impact on this first half. Picked out that space, picked out the pass. That ball in the box gets to the back post, cleared away. It was a shot by Sebastian Vivas, who has an assist, trying to get a goal himself.
And our center officials certainly had positioning in that moment. It just really looked like there may have been a little bit of an extra push there with back to goal, but nonetheless continue to play, and they were really lucky not to concede in that transition moment.
That will be a free kick. Walker threatening to take it quickly. He'll leave it for Doyle. And with 2.5 minutes now down of stoppage time, we have maybe one of the last chances to try and extend this lead for Tormenta as they move some numbers forward. For a set piece, Prepelita took some damage on a set piece earlier, not putting himself in the mix. Connor Doyle to the back post, over everybody, out for a goal kick. Mention it at about our halftime of the first half analysis that at 1-0, despite the dominance from Tormenta on the stat sheet and throughout the match, 1-0 I think favors Harbor City, where you're fighting this game still.
It does, and I think they've done a really good job of not actually forcing going forward too much, because the longer the game goes on, they can take those risks a little bit more. You want to stay in the game, give your team a chance. They've given up that goal somewhat early in the 23rd minute, and they've held in there. So if you get into halftime here, I think they're sitting in a pretty good spot, and they would feel good about it.
30 more seconds of stoppage time than any additional at the discrepancy of the referee. Pack. Nair. Tunbridge. He's been very involved in this first half. He clips one over the top, aiming for Nianjo. Maybe one last chance for the host. Nianjo creeping onto the right foot. Bit more space now. Low shot, and that's just wide. Almost doubling things right on halftime. It was the final kick of the first half. Casey, your final thoughts. If we look at the biggest cup set last night, we mentioned it earlier on in the broadcast. Little Rock taking down the USL Championship side, Birmingham Legion. We have our first whistle of our second 45. In black from left to right will be Harbor City. In the white from right to left, Tormenta. Joseph Perez in for Anatoly Prepelita is the lone change to tell you about. Prepelita, a bit of a nose issue. He's brought off. Change made there as Pack receives this one in the 6-yard box. But the match, Little Rock, Birmingham, there was a few opportunities for Birmingham to take a lead in the first half. The game stayed close, 0-0. A great wonder goal from Little Rock, and the side from Arkansas saw it out. So Tormenta, no, and that's probably Ian Cameron's halftime talk right there. Great half, guys. Still just one goal. They're right in it. You got to get that second one.
You want your team to stay hungry. You don't want them to settle in and say, okay, yeah, we'd be fine with the 1-0 win, but why make it that difficult when we've established 72% possession? That has to turn into more opportunities on frame and has to turn into more goals. So you're thinking about not only this game, but how your team is going to continue to develop and approach games as they go throughout their season as well.
Pack rolling this one out. It's Perez, the lone halftime change, making his debut for Tormenta, joining from Chattanooga FC in the offseason. 54 appearances, 2 assists in MLS Next Pro and NISA over the last 2 years. Tunbridge lets it run and rolls it to Vivas in the box. A shot, that one parried just wide. Another big-time save by Notar Donato.
Gets out of pressure, finds Tunbridge, and he's on the half turn, takes that quick look over his shoulder, able to take an aggressive first touch, the slip ball into Vivas, and he just lifts it. I think if you keep that lower.
Tormenta resuming where they left off in the first half, controlling things. A few set-piece opportunities, low to the near post, scraped along, called off and left there. This one sliced out to the far side for Gray. The winger does well to keep it in play, trying to show off a bit of skill there, popping it past his opponent. Got a toe in to keep it alive. This one chipped up forward. Nianjo leaves it. Return there attempted. It's just cleared away. Stretch won the initial header, but it falls to Reed. I'd say Mitchell Reed's name too much. The forward not terribly involved. That's a poor turnover from Collins, who did have a good half. Now Tunbridge with 3 in white in the initial attack here. Tunbridge, a step over, trying to roll it in for Vivas. They're looking to the assistant for offside. They won't get it. League One rival of Tormenta, the forward Madison. Referee playing advantage. Good strength shown by Carr. He swings one. Header steps in to win it. Nianjo.
And Carr and Bennett have actually done a pretty good job sliding into those holding mid rolls right there, which has allowed Collins to be a little bit higher up the field. It's just those final details, and you can see the back line of Tormenta retreat. They understand reading the pressure, reading the service, and are able to clean it up. It just seems really hard to be able to penetrate that back four.
Perez. Big ball to the back post. Kept in play by Vivas. Good touch down by Doyle. Will it bounce kindly for him? It bounces kindly for Nianjo. The shot. First time trying to find that bottom right corner. Just wide.
It bounces down. Good challenge right there, and it's not cleared. Nianjo taking it the first time. Nothing Notre Donato quickly executed.
Replay angle seems so close to just nesting in that bottom right corner. That's a foul from behind by Sebastian Vivas. The Argentine got the assist on the Nianjo goal. Doyle trying to provide the chaos to platform a second goal for the winger. Out of play, it's a throw. Nascimento couldn't keep it in play. Waiting for someone to put some pressure on him.
Well, and that's where experience comes in as a goalkeeper too, because you can tell Harbor City is just trying to keep it 1-0 as long as they can and look for a potential opportunity, a set piece, a transition moment. And he says, I'm not going to rush it then if you're not going to come out and pressure.
Tunbridge. Return to him. Nair. Alves pointing away from him. He wants it played along. Ball forward by Stretch. Callum Stretch, not mentioned it, really has been slid into a center back role since Prepelita's halftime sub, so less of a rangy dribbler and mover up the field. Joseph Perez, the halftime substitute, moved into that fullback role. Nianjo, out of nowhere, gets to it first and able to get a few touches to keep play going. Gray, Nianjo, low shot across frame, and that one goes all the way across. We'll have a substitution for this goal kick.
Substitutions now for Tormenta. Bazzini, Dre, and Reed Stephen.
3 subs coming in. Niall, Reed, Stephen, Alon, Dre, and Yaniv Bassini all coming into the match. Subs 2, 3, and 4 for Tormenta. They try and see out this result and head to the next round of the competition, keep the streak under Ian Cameron going of first match wins in the Open Cup. Mason Tunbridge, a great day for him, making way, as will Vivas, as will Nianjo. Coming into the match. Hayden O'Hara, Gabriel Shelton coming into the match. But it's on Licor, it was to be just one time too many. He went down a little easy, but there was contact on some of the first half situations where we thought, you know, wasn't diving, it just may not have been a foul. That one definitely was lighter contact. You can understand the referee's decision on that one.
It wasn't. I don't fault him for trying to make something happen. Maybe one more touch, they would have been converging on him. It would have been a little bit more about drawing contact. There was just still a lot of space there. It was obvious he went down pretty easily.
4 subs apiece for the two teams. Over the top. Reed Steven, one-on-one with the keeper. A shot, and it's 2-0. Is that the result that sends them to the second round? South Georgia Tormenta 2, Harbor City 0.
Well, this is exactly what you expect later in the game, getting a little bit more forward as Harbor City. This is in transition, winning the ball here and looking to play a little bit more direct. It's a great run from the inside channel into the wide space by Reed Steven. Takes some great...
Walker, no free kick, but it does roll to Bazzini. Bazzini, that time it will be a foul. And the striker, we talked about him a bit ago, coming out of Vermont, a fantastic season with the Catamounts going all the way to the title game, winning an NCAA title, coming off a summer as well in the USL League 2.
And Bazzini does well just to get in the half space and looks to immediately take on. There's no question in his mind what he wants to do. That's a player that's playing with confidence and draws the foul.
Bazzini played in the Open Cup before, despite this being a first pro contract, played for Vermont Green, part of one of the really fun stories of the 2024 US Open Cup. He scored in their second game when they were eliminated after having a cup set early on against Lexington. Reed Steven has his left foot over this free kick. He may be thinking about going for goal. 1 on the day for Reed Steven. The shot makes it 2 for him, 3 for Tormenta. Used the wall to his advantage. Placed the keeper the wrong way. Tormenta 3, Harbor City 0.
This is incredibly clever in this moment for Reed Steven. The wall is set. Donato goes to the wrong side.
In the final 6 minutes plus stoppage time, played forward, Madden keeps it in play. One of the bright spots for this Harbor City side, defensively quite strong against a team that was going against him quite frequently on that left-hand side. That's a foul from behind. Nipping in was Walker. Good strength. No Tardanato. Lofted into the box at the back post, headed along on the volley, just over. The best chance of the day falls to Kyle Carr.
And this was a good opportunity. It's a good ball to the back post area. Off the back shoulder was Carr, helps it on right there and able to take it. But because of the recovery of the outside.
Gray outside, aiming for Reed Steven. Winger gets to it, looks up, puts a ball in the box, headed up and away. The first attempted clearance doesn't come off. Second one will push it further away from danger. And it was interesting talking to Ian Cameron after or ahead of this match. He talked about that will do it for our match here today. controlled from minute 1 to minute 90. South Georgia Tormenta take down Harbor City and advance to the next round of the U.S. Open Cup.